Hello Superset Maniacs and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to another 2021 Mr. Olympia comparison where this time we're going to compare Nick Walker's 2021 Olympia version to his Arnold Classic winning version from 2 weeks ago. Now obviously there is not too much improvement you can make in only 2 weeks. You can come in more shredded, but he was already peeled to the bone at the Arnold. You could also improve your posing style, so these are gonna be the things I'll be looking for in this comparison. Just like I always do it for you guys, I removed the background so we could get a better look at these physiques next to each other. I'm also always trying to fix the lighting so we can see better these physiques. If you guys appreciate the work that's being done here, hit that like button. Thank you guys, you are the best. So without further ado, let's get to the poses and see if Nick improved again, even though it only has been 2 weeks since the Arnold. In the front double biceps he looks pretty much the same, which considering how good was he at the Arnold, it only means that he did what he had to do. He's got the same shape, the same crazy level of conditioning and the same great execution in this front double biceps pose. Moving on to the front lat spread, we can notice that this guy means business. He always strives to improve and he did improve the execution of his weakest pose. He's got the disadvantage of having a blocky physique and short limbs, which makes this pose look quite bad, to be honest. But as we can see in the right, at the Olympia he's pulling in his stomach, which makes a very big difference. He listened to the critics and he did something about it. Much respect to the guy. In the side chest, I have to say that his chest looks better at the Arnold. It may be also because of how the light hits his body, but his pecs definitely look rounder and fuller at the Arnold. Also, at least in this pose and by these pictures, he looks even more conditioned at the Olympia than he was at the Arnold. And this may be the reason his chest looks flatter. The back double biceps is basically the same. Obviously, like I mentioned, there's only that much you can do in 2 weeks. The best he could really do, besides not coming in off, is to improve the posing style. But there is nothing to improve here in my opinion. The lighting at the Arnold was definitely superior to the one at the Olympia though. Back lat spread, and unfortunately this is what we got for the Olympia version. If you guys find a better pic with him hitting this pose at the Olympia, please send it to me on Instagram at the Supersetman. Back to the pose, the superior Arnold lighting and the superior quality of the photo from the Arnold makes that version stand out here. He also looks to be wider at the Arnold. However, he could have been transitioning in or out from this pose in the Olympia peak. But as they look here in these 2 peaks, the Arnold version is clearly superior. Side triceps, and I have to say that I prefer his Olympia execution, opening up more like that, so there's another execution improvement he did in only 2 weeks. And yes, once again, he looks to be sharper at the Olympia, so we can draw a conclusion already. In 2 weeks, Nick Walker improved his conditioning, which already was incredible, and also the execution of certain poses. The abs and thighs is another pose where we have a low quality peak for the Olympia version, but by how they look here, I would say he looked better at the Arnold in this pose. His abs look more ripped and his stomach looks a bit flatter. The most muscular looks basically the same, maybe with the mention that again his chest might be looking a bit fuller at the Arnold. This probably being the effect of the better lighting at that show. But taking into consideration the fact that he looks even sharper at the Olympia, it might actually be the case for him to actually look fuller overall at the Arnold. As a conclusion, I believe Nick Walker did not regress since the Arnold. He was at least as good and impressive as 2 weeks ago. By these peaks, he looks a bit even more sharper now and he improved the execution of certain poses, like the front lat spread or the side triceps, to give you some examples. In my opinion, Nick Walker looked better than Hunter Labrada, who placed in front of him at the Olympia, but this is just my personal opinion. It's not like Hunter looked bad or anything. He improved a lot as well since the Chicago Pro. What do you guys think about this comparison? Where do you think Nick Walker looked better, at the Arnold or at the Olympia? Let me know in the comment section below. Also let me know what do you think about him placing 5th at the Olympia. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys and see you next time.